After a 3-month break, I am off suspension and my soccer broadcasting career resumes this weekend in St. Louis, Missouri. Kristen Elanius, Damian Dunn. Hello, friends.
Hello.
I'm going to need that link. I don't have anything planned on my schedule this weekend. I'm going to watch some Peter Dunn broadcasting.
It'll be for you 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll send you a 4 p.m. Eastern link. Sit back just with some brown liquor. Just enjoy that. And then 10:50 on Sunday morning. I'll say this, Kristen. You may know that the World Cup happened this summer.
Yes.
So I got to listen to a lot of broadcasters, and I've updated some of my lingo and some of my calls, and I would like to test a couple of them.
Yes, but I was hoping I would get to hear some, just a preview of goal calls or maybe a errant tackle. I don't know.
First of all, good morning, Julie. Good morning, Jenny. As Kristen noted in pre-show, I have new frames, which also means I have a new prescription, which also means I can actually read your comments through the teleprompter. And as I went to get new glasses and was talking to my doctor about is the person a doctor?
Yes.
Is an optometrist a doctor?
Yes.
Yes.
They can even prescribe stuff. So yeah, they're definitely a doctor.
No, an ophthalmologist can, but can an optometrist?
Yes.
Yes.
No one knows. I mean, that's the thing. Like we all agree. No one knows.
Everyone. Okay. Yeah.
I was excited for this moment to be able to see Jenny's name and to say good morning to her. I also have to admit, I went and got my eye exam after our local Indianapolis Indians all company day there, in which I had 2 beers. And so I did an eye exam with 2 beers. So does that mean that it could be off?
I guess you probably just ought to walk around with 2 beers at all times, just in case your vision starts to get a little blurry.
Or incredibly on. Yeah.
So the main call I'm going to work on for soccer this season is when a team is consistently shooting at the goal, which I know that sounds weird to talk about, but there's a large part of 90-minute soccer games in which teams are not shooting at the goal. They're just futzing with the ball, And so what the World Cup announcers have taught me is I would say something like, and the boys are starting to ask more questions of the keeper. And I love that so much. I cannot wait to say it tomorrow, assuming they get interrogative on those folks.
That's a good one.
I think the funny part is there's some new soccer families on the club this year, and they don't know what's.
No, you don't have to say anymore. They don't know.
Yeah. John notes that an ophthalmologist is an MD, that I understand, and that futzing with the ball is a Fed chair term. Dame, I sent you and Kristen this morning just some commentary on the jobs report.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get what I was putting down there? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Fed is tasked with 2 things: controlling inflation and worrying about unemployment. And well, when one goes the other way, the other one sometimes gets put on the back burner. And right now they've got a 2-front war that they're going to try and fight. So they are going to have their hands tied for a while. I'm not sure what direction they're going to go.
I went right to call sheet to see what the prediction market said, and there was a wild swing this morning. So for those that don't know, the U.S. was supposed to have added about 80,000 jobs or so in July, and in turn, the report suggests we lost 23,000 jobs in July. So it's a 100,000 job swing, and now the Fed was maybe going to increase interest rates the next time around. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. Now, no way. No way. In fact, it could get dumb. To your point, Dame, it could get dumb. And it could actually, they could find themselves lowering the interest rate.
Because we all know there's somebody who really wants interest rates to get lowered.
Kristen.
Kristen's daughter is Maggie. Yeah, that's right. All right. Anybody else got anything fun or delightful? I mean, in 7 seconds, we're going to enter the vacuum seal that is our streaming setup. Nope.
There was.
Oh, there it is. All right, let's do this. Oh wait, am I back, Kristen? Your face looks skeptical.
It's not totally.
Not back yet.
Oh, I think you might be fine now.
Could we? What is the chances we could get somebody to sponsor the airlock? Ziploc, somebody's, Tupperware. I don't know. Just
Blip in broadcasting brought to you by.
There's this guy at my gym that has gotten in such good shape.
That's great.
I know. Like, I'm skeptical.
Oh.
But he's younger than me, but he was in decent shape. But now he's just like freaking ripped.
You mean in a world of peptides, you're not sure?
So mind your own prescriptions, Peter Dunn.
Yeah. I mean, so Dame, is it before I've said to him, man, you looking good. And I was like, and he's like, yeah. Thank you. But I know he didn't say anything. Thank you. How far can I push it? Like, hey man, what are you eating or not eating, or what are you injecting or not injecting? Is that inappropriate?
Maybe on the diet side, I think you could go there. What's your meal plan look like?
Yeah,
I would
meal plan.
Not tiptoe into the.
I don't know. I think gym goers are pretty open about what peptides or replacements they take these days.
Oh, that's interesting. He's a financial guy.
Oh, maybe
yes,
not.
I could relate to him with that. Quantitative easing. Are you taking steroids?
Looks like these numbers aren't the only thing that's pumped up.
Yeah.
Boy. All right. Well, let's do this. What's this show about?
Financial distraction.
Oh, distraction. Sorry, I got distracted. Morning, Jason Brown and Rev Renfro. Guys, with these new frames, this new prescription, I can see people I can see Jason's pores in his avatar there. That's how good these glasses are.
He's going to read every single comment just because he can, and he's excited about it.
Yeah. This whole time I thought Dame's name was Dane. Like, that's an M.
Yeah.
Okay. There was some I was going to tell you guys. It was. Oh, I saw the Odyssey this weekend.
Oh,
in IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
Really good, really good. There's 2 or 3 scenes that are so loud, my face was shaking. Like it was wild, and I was like, "Boy, at home, I would have just dropped it down a few beats."
Could have wore your AirPods with a little noise cancellation just to mute things out a little bit.
Do you know how dehydrated I had to go into that movie?
I was going to ask if you were able to make it through in one sitting or if you had to take a gentleman's break.
No, I did like a 36-hour liquid fast, and I don't mean I only had liquids. I didn't have any liquids because I didn't want to miss the movie, and I'm a man of a certain age. You gotta keep it. Sorry, Kristen.
I just can't there's no part of this that is relatable to me. Like, you started with, I went to see a movie and I was like, okay.
Dame, how much time do we have here? Okay, Dame, on the weekends, are you active? If you're not taking the kids to a sports, are you active when you're at your home?
We usually try and do something, not just hide out in the house all weekend. But I think this weekend there's nothing on the calendar. But I think the kids want to go see the Spider-Man movie, so I think we're going to go see the Spider-Man movie. I think Thomas and I are going to play golf Sunday afternoon. So there's some stuff going on.
Kristen, is he active on the weekends, or is he like rest and recover and like? Or what's he doing? Hello, Andy Ramsey. Hello, Andy. Good to see you here on the show.
Of course he's active. They live on a farm. Of course he's active.
R&R. I was going to say R&R is like not a thing. I wouldn't know anything about that usually.
So my life partner and I had an interesting discussion the other day in which she suggests that it is bothersome to her that I sit around on the weekends in which when I'm not running my child around the Midwest and I sit. I might get up in the morning, I still work out at 6, go to the grocery store, come home, make everyone breakfast. And then I'm planted. I'm pretty planted. And she said, that's bothering me. Like, I'm recharging, but I see your point, but I got to recharge. I just have no social energy.
Yeah. Totally get that one. I excused myself from a gathering early last weekend because I was done with people at that point. Now, I like the people we were with. I love them. Great folks. But it was late and I was just ready to go home.
We got to start the show, but I do got to know, Dame, of all the people there, who did you like the least?
Oh.
No, it was like one family and their kids. We'd stopped.
One of the families is the problem, you're saying?
There's somebody I don't like right now.
Well, I don't think you should say that to Kristen. You guys are colleagues. In 3, 2, 1. This week on the Pete the Planner Show, we answer your money questions. Here's how the show works. You email us, askpete@petetheplanner.com. That's askpete@petetheplanner.com, and we'll talk about your question. We'll answer it. I use the plural, meaning it's not just me. And it's Kristen Elanius and Damian Dunn, both certified financial planning practitioners. Hello, Kristen.
Hello, Pete.
Hello, Damian Andrew Dunn.
Good day.
I have no qualifications, but the show is about money, and I am just here. Today's show is an interesting one. Whose idea was this? Dame, was this you?
Yeah.
I liked this. You know, I liked it when you sent it, and then I was like, oh, it's decent. And then as we started to kind of dig into it a little bit, I really, really like it.
Well, it's kind of a surprise to me because when I put it out there as a suggestion, crickets. Literally, I had no idea what we were doing the show on until this morning when I opened my email, and lo and behold, here's an outline based on my idea. No thanks. No, hey, this really could be something good. It's just like, we'll do it.
Well, I've been sitting in my chair at my house since last Saturday morning, so I did not have time to do that. The topic today, Kristen, as you know, is financial distraction. So a financial distraction feels financially productive. You're focusing on something, there's numbers, you're refining. But oftentimes these distractions have relatively little impact on your actual financial trajectory. And so it's the equivalent of busy work, and it can really take you off track. So Kristen, as we kind of walk through these, I have one to me that I find is like the world's biggest financial distraction. I'm curious how you guys feel. Do you have one that you think of?
The one that I am guilty of, because I just slacked Dame about it like last week, which is about once a quarter, I get really upset about the fact that I have a mortgage and I think about the debt service and how much it's going to cost me to repay that loan. And I'm like, Kristen, if you would just like really buckle down and, reallocate some of these resources, what could that timeline look like? I work through that exercise once a quarter. I don't come to a different conclusion, and it's a complete waste of my time.
Okay, so yours is looking at how much interest you're going to pay on your mortgage and then doing nothing about it.
Correct. Getting caught up in the cost of debt.
That's so interesting. Dame, do you have one?
It's not one that I've particularly struggled with, although I've come really close in the past. When folks sit out there and try and figure out the highest savings rate, and we talk to these people occasionally on our in our business, and they're just chasing an extra 0.25%, or maybe not even 0.25%, but maybe they say, well, I'm going to get that bonus if I move my savings account to this other bank and I keep it there for 6 months. My gosh, there are other things to worry about in life other than an extra 0.25% on a savings account. So that bothers me.
I'm such a distracted animal that I've spent the last 25 years or so foolproofing my financial life so that I don't run down the wrong direction. So everything in my life is automated financially.
Yes.
Because I get so distracted. But here are the two that used to see a lot when I used to talk to a lot of people about their finances. I'm guessing the coaching team at Your Money Line has these conversations all the time. My number one used to drive me insane is when people would obsess over the rate of return of their investments and they weren't actually putting the right amount of money into their investments. Like they weren't putting the fuel in the car, but they were so concerned with how fast they were going. And Kristen, that always drove me crazy.
That's so interesting because, I mean, if my investments would do better, Pete, I wouldn't have to contribute so much, you know?
I mean, that is the logic.
Right.
And I mean, at first and second glance, it actually passes the sniff test. Like it's like, okay, it kind of makes sense. But Dame, it's missing something.
Well, there's a version of this that we get way more frequently, and that's traditional versus Roth. Now, you can argue that's a more important conversation to have because there's some strategy behind it. But if you're wringing your hands over that and you're only contributing 3% of your income to retirement, I'm not all that worried about it. We've got to get that number cranked up. We've got to find the margin in your finances so that you can contribute more to retirement. And yes, we can still have that conversation, but you're missing the plot on this. You have to have more money before we really, really focus on the taxation of it.
Another one that I thought of that I used to see a lot was when people would just move around and get 0% interest credit cards and then just spend so much time. And I'm not saying it's a terrible idea, but I feel like if all the energy and ingenuity goes into finding the interest rate as opposed to finding more money to pay down the thing, and they're not mutually exclusive. But Kristen, I don't know if we've talked about this in a while. Are you in support of transferring a balance to a 0% introductory rate to provide some relief, or do you find it not exactly helpful?
Unfortunately, I think most of the time the way that plays out behaviorally is that it is a distraction, but it's rooted in like the best of intentions. Because Pete, if I move this over, I'm going to save this money. I'm going to be able to pay down the debt quicker. But if the time that you invested in finding that 0% offer wasn't less than the amount of time you spent trying to find the margin to pay it off, we're going to probably be right back in the same spot that we were, unfortunately.
Yeah. Dame?
Yeah, show me the plan. If you're going to go through the effort of moving the money to a 0% card in order to pay things off faster, show me how you're going to do it. Mm-hmm. Because if not, Kristen's exactly right. You may not even take 2 steps forward. You just may immediately go to 3 steps back in this case because you feel like you've got some breathing room at this point, and now you don't have to worry about the interest. And so, you know what? I really need to do this. And so I'm going to go do it. Since I've got 0% on this card, I'm going to go ahead and make that purchase. And it's not really going to hurt me. And I'll have this all taken care of by the time that 0% credit or 0% teaser rate is over with. Well, maybe you will, maybe you won't. If you don't have a plan, I can pretty much guarantee that you won't at that point. So if you can come to me with a plan and say, by moving to this card, it allows me to accomplish X, Y, Z, right? Let's go for it. Let's give it a shot.
You know, throughout this next segment, we're going to talk about these big levers versus the little levers. And I'm not trying to ruin that segment, but I probably will. Crypto feels like a wild distraction. Alternative investing, like Thunder Kitty or whatever that guy's name was. What was that guy's name?
I don't remember.
A long time since we talked about him.
Yeah.
But like all that feels like a distraction. SpaceX feels like a distraction. Like earlier this week, before SpaceX's earnings were set to come out, it had been diving a lot. Mm-hmm. And I was like, should I grin a little? And then I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't, because after earnings, even though there was some positive news, it felt, and it's like, these are all distractions. Dame, do you think crypto's a distraction?
I guess I really hadn't considered it, but it absolutely could be a distraction. If you're locked in on that, thinking that's going to be the key to your retirement success or achieving your financial goals, you might be missing some other things that are just as important, whether it's helping your immediate financial stability or even a different, more reasonable way to secure that long-term financial stability, whatever that is. But I think you could, I don't want to just bag on crypto here. I think you could easily move traditional investing into the same thing. If folks who claim to be day traders could really get tied up in something when you really are just flipping stocks and probably losing money.
Well, I mean, Kristen, you could argue Robinhood itself is a distraction.
Yeah, once again, if we've not taken the time to understand the fundamentals and the basics, are we actually doing ourselves a disservice over the long term?
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back with big levers and small levers, these little levers, and some of these assertions. We'll talk about on Rocket Money commercials when everyone's so obsessed and distracted by subscriptions. Does it actually really even matter? Are you being distracted from the bigger plot? You'll find out next on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. This portion of the program is brought to you by Neighbor Serve's White Glove Home Concierge service. For the last couple of years, I run my home via Neighbor Serve. It's a group of folks. It is software that knows everything about my home. It knows what appliances I have, when things have been replaced, when warranties come out, and I can actually talk to my home via their technology. It is incredibly handy and helpful. I don't have to worry about what contractors are going to come to my house and I have to vet them and get 3 quotes. I just reach out to NeighborServe, and their home concierge program gets someone to my house. It gets it fixed, and God forbid something isn't perfect, they will make sure it is perfect. So instead of wasting all your time trying to figure out who to trust, instead of going to services that have people pay so that they tell you they trust them, go to Home Concierge by NeighborServe. Go to neighborserve.com/Pete. That's neighborserve.com/Pete for a free 1 month of Home Concierge. That's neighborserve.com. All right, hi. Dame, you looked bemused.
Nah, it was just the way you wrapped that commercial up. I thought it was fun.
Thanks. Dame, you got any good whiskey in your face recently?
No, the club that I'm loosely affiliated with at this point, pay my dues, I guess, has one. It's a Doc Holliday whiskey that has like a revolver cylinder as the cap that I may buy just because of the bottle itself. I have no idea what it tastes like, but I may just buy for the packaging.
Kristen, that sort of drink is good for shots.
There we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kristen, what are you doing this weekend? Are you something? I get the sense that you're not sitting in a chair this weekend. You're gonna go to a 4-H event, or you're gonna buy a steer, or you're gonna make jerky. What are you doing this weekend?
There is a fair board event on Sunday, but I won't be going. And there's a 1-year-old birthday party on Saturday, and doing some things around the house because we decided that we're going to host Maggie's first birthday party at our house, and it's nowhere near ready for that. So,
gosh, it's a few months away, and it sounds like months of work to get that.
Oh, there are not enough weekends.
I mean, have you contemplated just selling the house and moving somewhere else and not having to worry about it?
I actually hadn't considered that. I do think this will be my forever home.
I'm driving to Cincinnati tonight, and then I'm driving to St. Louis from Cincinnati tomorrow. That is my weekend.
wait. Wow.
I know. There's a soccer match in Cincinnati tonight. FCC, the MLS Cincinnati professional soccer team, is playing Pumas from Mexico, and one of my best friends is his favorite club, so I'm going with his family. We're going with his family and just enjoying some good international soccer tonight.
Well, that'd be fun for you.
Yeah. Then we're gonna drive 5.5 hours on Saturday morning to kick a ball in a heat wave.
Does Cincinnati have a dedicated pitch, or do they play
TQL Stadium? It's very nice.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fun. Let's do this. Let's continue the show in 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner Show, talking financial distractions. Hey guys, as we get into this, I want to be as self-aware as we can here. Do you think constantly listening to personal finance podcasts and radio shows and doing nothing about it is buying into a distraction?
Oh no.
It's a really interesting question because I think you can distract yourself by saying, well, I'm not as bad as the people that are calling into the show, so I'm not going to worry about it. Well, I don't need to take any action on my own stuff. But on the other hand, you might find that connection. It's like, that's exactly what I'm struggling with, and here's how they. I don't know if there's a good answer to that particular question.
Okay, well let's shift the lens. Kristen, is there a group of media that you consume, podcast, TikTok, on a certain topic that informs you, then you don't do boo about?
Yes, but I would like to think that for the most part, I'm doing okay because I do watch other personal finance content, and I would hope that I'm doing okay. So I feel like that is okay, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Dame, what content do you consume and you do nothing about?
I got into an algorithm for a while of people that were making like meal planning, but like crock pot stuff or bigger things and just portioning it out. And some of these, they looked amazing, like really, really good. And they were putting the macros up there. I was like, I just need to go do that. And on to the next video. And that was about as long as it lasted.
Dude, I've been in that algo. I have another one where there's this guy, it's probably 25, just doing these incredibly hard weightlifting workouts. I just watch. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to try to do that. I would be in a hospital.
I'm going to just breathe really hard while he's doing this, and I'll get part of the workout.
But in your financial life, there are big levers and there are little levers. Big mistakes you can make and lots of little mistakes you can make. And so oftentimes misunderstanding this and getting distracted by little levers or getting distracted by big levers can be a challenge. Big levers are things like your income. Like sometimes the problem is you don't make enough money. Although I would say this, Kristen, I believe most people point to that pretty quickly when they're trying to assess their financial challenges. Most people don't go, well, I guess I'll have to start budgeting. Most people go, well, how can I supplement my income? Is that your feeling too?
I think that that's true. I think it's our collective narrative, and it's so hard because statements like that don't tend to allow for the reality that two things can be true, is that you might need a little bit more, but also could you be doing better when it comes to your spending? It's not mutually exclusive.
Dame, how much do you think, let's getting on to a couple other big levers, people refuse to acknowledge that the housing decision they made or the transportation decision that they're constantly re-upping on every month, that is the problem, and it's not a bunch of other stuff?
I think that's a real common one, and I think it's easy to ignore those because you figure you've got to have these things in your life. You've got to have a roof over your head. You got to have a way to get to work. And therefore, I've got it, and I can't get out of something like this right now, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. Is the mindset that a lot of us will have to work through, when in reality, man, it might be the key to really getting the ship pointed in the right direction on that. So the bigger decisions are usually the toughest to change, but yield the best results.
Yeah, but I have yes, 100%. I have so much empathy, though, for someone who doesn't want to change one of those things. Sure. Because you guys, what a pain in the neck.
Yes.
What a pain in the neck is it to get different transportation or to change your housing situation? I'm not saying it still isn't good medicine, but I do understand the procrastination or the distraction that might surround those decisions for sure.
Let's talk about personal finance content creation here for a second, because I think where this gets interesting is, are content creators, personal finance influencers, are they actually having you focus on the right things, or are they having you focus on distractions? Because the little levers, things like getting coffee every day, or tiny little subscriptions, or credit score optimization, all these life hacks, finally finding marginally better yields and constantly tweaking investments, all these things that are clever. Like, Those are distractions, and they actually don't really help you in the end. That is my assertion. Kristen, you live in the world of influencer content creation. What do you think?
No. But I what's so hard for me is if I'm thinking through the lens as a practitioner and I'm sitting one-to-one versus I'm trying to speak to someone through a screen like we are today. How do I get someone that quick win that helps them feel motivated, helps them feel like moving the needle on their financial life is something that they can accomplish? This isn't going to be as bad as you thought it was. And that's where those, hey, where's a subscription that you could just like, you're done. It's so easy. You go on your phone after this meeting and you cut one out of your life. I think that where sometimes content for the masses falls flat is then you don't get that prescriptive follow-up where it's like, okay, great job, Pete. Now let's work on something that's a little more difficult, that's a little more specific to your situation. It's really hard to do that in mass when we're talking about content.
I think it's really easy when we're talking about small levers, though, that if we do what you're suggesting, Kristen, after we watch that video, we have that meeting and we go and we find that small thing that we're going to eliminate, whether it's a subscription or a behavior change, whatever that is, if it's small enough, we don't capture the win. We'll go and spend it somewhere else. We'll figure that out because it's only $15 a month. I mean, what difference is that really going to make anyway? I'm just going to use this in a way that benefits me a little bit better. I enjoy this $15 a little bit more. But when we're talking about making a major change, transportation, housing, now it becomes more critical and there's a bigger dollar at stake. And it's we're making this decision to improve our financial situation. So I best take advantage of it at that point. Sure, I think that it'd be unreasonable to think that the majority of people maybe even wouldn't have some of that creep into their lifestyle, some of that win creep into their lifestyle. But I think there's a greater chance that you recognize some of the change in a bigger decision than the smaller ones. You'd have to make a lot of smaller ones.
I'm always thinking metaphorically. I'm thinking about when people are trying to, I'll say lose weight, but I kind of mean get physically fit, right? Okay. I don't actually, the pounds don't particularly matter. It's sort of how they look. They want to look fitter. What do you say? Body comp?
Body comp.
Yeah. Gosh, you're in my algorithm too. And so oftentimes it's the workout. I want to work with this workout. I'm going to do this workout. I need to buy these shorts for this workout. Got to listen to this music for this workout with these shorts. But still what you're eating. It's 100% what you're eating. So like the biggest distraction is the workout itself. And the biggest point is the food you're eating. The old abs are made in the kitchen, not at the gym. And I think financially, there's 1,000 parallels to that. Is that working? I started working out again. I hear people say all the time. I've said it. I'm obnoxious with it. Guess what? It doesn't matter. It just literally doesn't matter from a body comp standpoint unless you're eating right. And I think financially people are there too.
Yeah, I think the metaphor there is that you can't outwork a bad diet, which totally translates to personal finance.
Are you pulling out the wait, what's the Dave Ramsey one? You can't outspend stupid, or you can't out earn stupid, something like that. Christian's
I don't know that I've heard
huge Dave Ramsey guy.
Yes, absolutely. Team David.
Hey, act your wage, Kristen.
Does he say that?
There's a whole list. Anyway, all right. Well, if we keep trying, maybe we'll get you a guest spot on one of his shows. Coming up after the break, Kristen's dream of joining the Dave Ramsey family. All of that's next. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a financial distraction audit. All right. Are you distracted? You'll find out if you listen next on the Pizza Planner Show.
That last YouTube comment hurts.
Okay, we got to talk about this. We have to talk about this.
It's horrible. What was he thinking?
Wait, okay.
It's unbelievable.
Was this guy an engineer beforehand and he just got hired in?
Hold on. Here's the thing. I just try really hard to put good things into the universe, okay? Like, is the universe better off if I go on to the Yahoo Sports clip of this and I comment, as a Purdue alum, this is embarrassing? No, it's not. And that's why I deleted my comment.
Okay. So Dame, please catch people up that don't know, because I saw this yesterday. I went home. I don't talk about stuff like this. I don't care.
Yeah.
Went home and was like, my wife, did you see this? She's like, I can't believe that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Go ahead, Dane. What is it?
I don't remember the exact phrasing this gentleman used, but new athletic director hired at Purdue University, a fantastic educational institution, made some comment while he was standing behind the podium to the effect of, if you don't want to win national championships, go to Indiana.
Yeah,
the lore there, by the way, for those who don't know, is they're coming off of a national championship in football. So
yeah, the quote is, we are here to win championships. Yeah. If you don't want to win championships, go to Indiana. And I get poking your rival. You poke the rival. That's the dumbest thing.
That would have hit so hard last year. The timing, kind of like Pete's stock pick sometimes, the timing just was not there.
I mean, if you look at the number of national championships each school has won, IU throttles Purdue.
I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't care. I just don't care. It's so stupid. I love the stupidity.
It made me really sad.
But Chris, I did want to say congrats on the world's largest bass drum.
The world's largest drum, okay?
Yeah.
You don't have to add the bass. It's implied.
Oh, of course it is. No, you did mean to start this person.
You knew exactly what you were doing, actually.
Dane, go ahead, please.
Should we do the stock pick updates this segment, or should we do it in between the next one?
Well, let's do the next one. I will say this. Being able to read the comments with my new prescription is the greatest thing that ever happened. Oh, man. People are killing it. Remember Chris Ballard? The rivalry is back on after Josh McDaniels backed out of the head coaching job for the Colts to go back to the Patriots. It's like, is it back on? Sports are so dumb. Bad. I love them. Everything's dumb. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner show, talking financial distractions. So often we think we're making our financial life better by focusing on something like our subscriptions. I have too many subscriptions. So you cancel a subscription and your financial life changed by $180, which is great. We're glad you did it. But it ain't the problem. Even if you had 10 subscriptions, that ain't the problem. Most often it's the giant decisions we make. How much we spend on housing or transportation or peanut brittle. I couldn't think of a third, and I found myself at nut brittle. Dame, it ever happened to you?
I find myself a nut brittle all the time.
Do you like peanut brittle?
No.
Ooh, Kristen?
Damien, aren't your taste buds messed
post-COVID?
Up? Yeah.
Peanut butter, the taste of peanut butter is coming back. I can enjoy peanut butter M&Ms, one of probably the best, Pete, I think you'll agree with me, the best bag candy that you can buy. But it's still not perfect.
Yeah, best bag candy is peanut butter M&Ms. I will say this. We are talking about financial distractions. And throughout the show, I decided to put little distractions in here to see if I can get these two professionals off topic. So now we're going to do a financial distraction audit. Kristen, you seem like you know what you're doing. Do you want to run this for us?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to use an example, or we just want to give the numbers or give each step for someone to run through on their own?
Hey, you're the boss. I'm just here. I'm literally just the face of the show because of my attractiveness.
Actually, factually incorrect. But okay, number 1, how many dollars are actually at stake?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But I think people were like, well, I'll say I have $50,000 in my 401k. Okay, let's just say I do. Okay. And then you're like, I got to make sure I get the best rate of return because $50,000 is at stake. And it's like, well, that's true. And actually more is at stake. But the better focus is putting more money into your account, not spending so much time on how to get more money in your account, not spending all of this time and energy what to invest in. I think sometimes people get the stakes wrong, Kristen.
It's interesting because just last week, gentlemen, the two of you really kind of got on my case about 1% increases to 401ks. It kind of feels like not a lot of dollars at stake.
Did we get on your case about that? I feel like we all agreed on that. Dave, did we disagree with her on that?
We did not all agree. I got messages from people after last week's show.
What, with empathy for you?
Yeah, saying that you two really ganged up on me.
That's just... Look, here's the thing. If I ever disagree with you publicly, I don't remember it the next day.
Other people did.
Well, you've got fans. Dame, what's another example of people like trying to figure out how many dollars are at stake?
So I'm still wrapping my mind around the Kristen's example of the 1%. You, just for clarity's sake, you were saying the 1% increase. It was a big deal. It's tough. It's harder to do than the actual number.
Yeah, you were wrong. I forgot.
Yeah. See, okay.
I was so dumb.
I feel way more justified in my position if that's actually what happened. Who knows? Nobody will ever know if that actually happened.
Oh, come on.
Now I made you full screen just so you can sit. I'm sorry. She got real mad. Do you see that mad face, Dame?
Yeah, I see it all the time.
All right, how about, does fixing this financial challenge change my trajectory? I know, Kristen, that's the next one on the financial distraction audit. I feel like this one's easier to assess than the other one.
I completely agree. And I think it informs the first one. And that's where, like, I think about, for example, there's an amount of money I could put toward the principal on my mortgage. And if I did, we would be mortgage free when Maggie goes to college.
How much? Can I ask how much? Or is that like a rude thing to ask? It's just a dollar amount.
I don't want to feel out of touch, but it's $100.
Why would that make you seem out of touch?
Well, because $100 can be a lot, but it's $100. And if I would allocate this to my mortgage, we could be mortgage free if we were still in this house. When Maggie goes to college.
Oh, yeah, it's $100. What are you talking about? It's $100. That's like a trip to McDonald's. It's not. It's not. What are you doing?
$100 a year. It's not insignificant. Anyway, that's not even the point. It's the trajectory that actually convinces me that it's not a distraction. It's not necessarily the $100 a month. It's the fact that it frees up vital cash flow should my child decide that she wants to go to college for an eternity.
Oh, Kristen, there is a 0.0% chance you're going to be in that home in the next 12 months.
Anyway.
You might as well put that in her 529 and call it a day.
Yeah, but we're already contributing to her 529. This is where it's a distraction.
Contribute more.
Okay, well, let's get to the third question in the financial distraction audit. And Kristen, this is the hardest one for people to face because it calls into question judgment and behavior and discipline and all sorts of other things. So go ahead and hit everyone over the head with it because you're the villain of the show.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Am I focusing on this because the bigger decision is harder?
Yeah, absolutely. Almost every single time. Damn, we're making stuff up 10% of the times because you didn't know, 90% of the times because you know and you don't want to do it.
Yes, you just don't want to face the method or the steps that it's going to take to correct that issue. So you're going to keep yourself busy with things that are easier, that make you feel like you're making progress in your financial life or whatever else this may be pertaining to. But we are very simple creatures. And if there's something that we don't want to face, we'll find 100 different ways to distract ourselves with things that we can feel good about, that we can say, hey, look, I took care of this, and this today. Did I actually take care of a problem, a big problem? No, but I fixed some other stuff. And I feel like that might've changed my trajectory enough to justify ignoring the other thing.
Dame, do you remember when you figured, you're an old guy, right?
Yes.
Do you remember when you found out that like a handful of nuts ain't a good snack?
Yeah, that's horrible.
I mean, do you remember when you found out that that's like a really unhealthy thing? It's just to eat a bunch of nuts.
Yeah, it was a Tuesday. It was horrible.
And okay, so let's say you were eating a handful of nuts. You're a big nut guy. And then you find that out. I'm still slamming nuts, y'all. I'm still I'm like, okay, yeah, but I need some nuts.
What's the guy gonna do? I want some cashews. Give me some cashews.
Yeah. Kristen, I'm glad I didn't bring you into that.
Appreciate
But there's all sorts of things that like, okay, you didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And now you know. And I was talking about this 30 times yesterday. It came up in like every conversation because I made it come up. Hey guys, smoking's going to give you cancer and it's going to kill you. We all know. Yeah. But the number of people still do it.
And they're all nurses.
Oh, damn. Go ahead, Kristen. You had a financial point.
I actually fully did not have a financial point, unfortunately.
I love that we did a show about distractions, and the entire show, in its entire point of view in the world for 20 years or whatever it is just a distraction. Like, Dave, do you remember the comments we used to get on the show? People bad on like Apple Podcasts. You'd be like, why don't you guys talk about money? It's like, quiet.
You don't understand the show.
You don't get it. All right. So here's our ask of you. Just try to be honest with yourself. Like if you're fixated on cutting back this or that, and like, oh, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that we try to cut coupons. And I love the fact that we try to stay under X number of dollars for a week at the grocery store. I think it's brilliant. Like you should do it. Mm-hmm. But it's that, bring that same energy to the big decisions. Because the big decisions are the ones that really matter. I we talk about on the show all the time. Housing is the perfect example of people make so many terrible financial decisions around housing that the home you live in itself is the financial distraction. You're like, oh, I need to fix my life. Yeah, get out of the house and sleep in a tent in the woods. That's not it. All right, coming up after the break, I got carried away, guys, and I've biggest waste of money of the week and the news right here on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. I got carried away. It happens.
Distracted.
Dame, when you were a kid and you would go around the holidays to like family's house, was there a bowl of nuts in their shells? And then you had the nutcracker, and then you just, it was like a free for all, just nut cracking all night long as a kid.
Yes, not always, but I do remember that. And unfortunately, they were a lot of time like horrible nuts. I mean, you just
they're not salted because they're just like raw nuts.
So I mean, the fun was in the shelling itself, not the consuming of said nuts. So it was just. Yeah, it lost its luster pretty quick.
Kristen, I'll bring you in here.
Here's the thing. We joke about like, you guys are so old, ha ha ha. There really isn't like that much of a gap. There really isn't. In the grand scheme of things, there is not. But then sometimes you guys have conversations like that. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
You missed out. That's all I can say.
Okay.
You totally missed out.
So it's a holiday. You're at your Aunt Helen's house. Okay.
Got it.
There's a bowl of nuts, and it's like a walnut and pecans and pistachios and cashews, Brazil nuts.
Okay.
And then there's a cracker, like a nutcracker, not the soldier that's jumping down and then doing ballet. I'm talking just like a little right, Dame?
Yeah, I mean, we had both at some of these things, but but
$100 is not a lot of money.
Yeah, the nutcracker. It kind of looks like nunchucks, just with no chain in between. Just a little.
And so, Kristen, as your adults in your family are just getting splammied on eggnog, you and your cousins are just there cracking nuts, like cutting yourself on the sharp nut shells. Then you try to eat the nut, but then some of the shells in it, and it cuts your throat, and you have like intestinal lacerations for a couple weeks, and they're not flavored. And then like the uncles buy two of the young cousins boxing gloves, and then they fight, and then grandma cries. Anyway,
Pete, did you ever bite into a walnut and not know what you were getting yourself into as a kid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you my biggest pet peeve in life, other than arguably war, is people who are like, my favorite ice cream is black walnut ice cream. It's like, no, it's not. Shut your lips. That's the dumbest thing anyone can have said. I love black walnut. No, you don't. It's the worst. It's the worst thing in the world, Dame.
Sorry about your taste buds, man. I don't know what happened to them, but at some point they were defective and you should get a refund.
Wait a second. Are you black walnut ice cream guy?
No. I'm saying that's what I tell people who enjoy black walnut. That's just horrible.
His life just flashed before his eyes.
Oh my God. Dame, I was like, this ain't going to work, Queen.
No.
Kristen, I know we're old, but
yeah,
black walnut ice cream.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
How long have you been on Earth?
Hang out in the freezer section once in a while.
Look for guys that look like me, and then just go, I see you're on a black walnut. Oh, sorry, sir. I'll go to the back and see if there's any more.
You guys, we missed the stock picks again.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're not doing during the segment. We're going to do them in between.
Yeah, in between.
Yeah, but we just spent 6 minutes talking about your ice cream preferences.
So?
Oh, do you got a date? What do you got?
I have to work today.
Oh,
you
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Stock pick challenge. Pete, you picked a company called Vertiv. Nobody knows what it does. Do you know what Vertiv does?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, you're the person. You're up 61% year to date with Vertiv.
Let's go.
Kristen, you picked Diamondback Energy for your winner. You're up 23%.
Good for
year
me.
to date.
Not bad.
I picked Palantir. With a war going on, I figured it was a shoe-in. I'm down 6% for the year.
Wow.
And that's because they've come way back. It's way better than it was.
Yeah, it really has.
Losers for the year. Pete, you picked Rivian, electric car maker, down 18.8% for the year.
Pete.
I picked Peloton, down 8.8% for the year.
Oh, no.
Kristen, you
Mine's
picked
up.
CarMax.
Are they up?
CarMax is up 51% for the year.
You'll have
Guys,
that.
I'm a genius.
51%. S&P 500 picks. Pete, you went with 22. I went with 15. Kristen, 7%. So far, year to date, 12.5% for the S&P 500. 12.5%.
That 15 is looking
you know
good.
what? I'm okay with 15.
Yeah, that's the best pick there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the show. Gosh, this is my best year ever at this.
Truly.
Oh my gosh, it's great. In 3, 2, 1. This week's biggest waste of money of the week, right here on the Pete the Planner Show, is the Wild Side by Mitsukoshi Seisakusho bamboo chair. Charlotte Perriand, the French modernist who co-designed some of the 20th century's most recognizable furniture alongside Le Corbusier, is said to have drawn inspiration from Umonji Kirikoro's 1937 bamboo chair. Kirikoro designed the piece while working in Mitsukoshi's furniture studio, the same operation known as Mitsukoshi Seisakusho. Wildside Yoshi Yamamoto. I can't, I'm sorry.
You were on a roll there.
That was great.
He actually has fully lost it.
Yeah, he might not come back from that one.
Oh my gosh.
That was great.
So I was in it and then I had to bail. Anyway, it's an all black finish for its first collaboration with the studio, keeping the original construction, a bent plywood frame wrapped in bamboo strips, a curved backrest, and a cantilevered seat that flexes under weight instead of resting on rear legs. The black lacquer treatment references traditional Japanese lacquerware and architecture, sharpening the chair's silhouette rather than just changing its color. A Wild Side logo is laser etched into the backrest in a matte finish that only becomes visible under certain light. Each chair is hand-built to order by a single Mitsukoshi Seisakusho craftsman with a production length of about 1 year.
What?
And a half. Only one shape rewards this kind of patience, and the same curvy Kirikoro bent by hand nearly 90 years ago. How much is this chair inspired by Kirikoro that takes 18 months to produce? Kristen, how much is this bamboo chair?
I do not know. When you sit in this thing, so the back legs don't touch. For those who aren't watching the live stream, like there is no back legs, and it's made of bamboo and it's supposed to flex. So when you sit in it, it's gonna like sink.
Little springy action. I think it might have a little quasi rocker action with this potentially.
Interesting. So if you have children in your home, they're definitely gonna break
They're gonna
that.
die.
Yeah. Okay, this chair is one person has to spend 18 months on this thing. This chair is $125,000.
I thought you said $125. I was going to say you are insane. I thought this was an aluminum chair when the picture came up. If you're listening to this on the radio, sorry, go check us out on the live stream. When you said it was bamboo and plywood, it immediately grabbed my attention. I love the look of this thing, and there's no way I'm ever going to be able to afford it. It is $75,000.
It's a bargain, guys. We might get him for the show. $6,980.
What?
Send me one. Send me two. As long as you're paying.
Well, the donkey budget is freed up now.
It is not.
Okay, sorry. Kristen, please ask Dame what's in the news this week.
Dame, what is in the news this week?
Earlier this week, the U.S. and Japan took the unusual step of teaming up to support the Japanese yen after it fell to its weakest level in roughly 40 years. It was the first joint U.S.-Japan currency intervention since the late 1990s, and while that sounds like a problem happening thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away, it could have real consequences here. Japan is the largest foreign holder of U.S. Treasury debt. If Japan were forced to sell large amounts of treasuries to defend its currency, that could push the U.S. bond yields even higher. Higher yields can mean higher borrowing costs for mortgages, car loans, businesses, and even the federal government. So the effort to rescue the yen may have also been an effort to keep an already stressed U.S. bond market from getting even more uncomfortable.
Look, I'm not interested in the bond market being stressed. We don't need that. But no part of that story sounds like it passes an audit.
Oh?
That doesn't... No, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't sound... I don't know how to say what I'm thinking of, like... I don't...
Great interjection.
I'm so sorry.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say what I'm thinking.
There's a metaphor, and I can't think of it, but I just don't think that it passes the sniff test.
Yeah,
it's
hot takes.
It's a confusing thing, but I'll say, like, I'm not saying it's a great idea, but it's self-preserving, because if the world economy falls because the Japanese yen falls, then a lot of people are in trouble. Like it's self-preserving for sure, because we're all so intertwined with like debt, you know. Yeah. Well said, both of us. If for anyone who's still listening to the show, I have an idea. What would you say? I don't know how to say what's in my head.
I don't know how to say what I'm thinking.
Oh, you don't know how to say what I'm thinking. Dane, what else is in the news?
Retirees have long loved dividend-paying stocks because they provide regular income without having to sell shares, but the booming stock market is making that strategy a little less attractive. The dividend yield on the S&P 500 now is hovering just above this many percent. Kristen, I think you can say what you're thinking here.
No, I genuinely do not know.
Read the for opening line again, because I didn't listen.
Retirees have long loved dividend-paying stocks because they provide regular income without having to sell shares, but the booming stock market is making that strategy a little less attractive.
2%.
Kristen?
2.25%.
1%, near a generational low, and that means retirees can often find better income targeting things like treasury, CDs, and money market funds. Yikes. It's also a good reminder that dividends aren't free money. When a company pays one, that money comes out of the value of the business. So rather than building a portfolio around the biggest dividend checks, financial planners say retirees may be better served focusing on total return, including growth, dividends, taxes, and fees. Pete, is the dividend approach drawing to a close? Are we looking at more encompassing portfolios going forward?
I've never considered this, but that's a really compelling argument.
Yeah.
It makes retirement planning that much harder because of these large enterprise values of these companies that have no earnings, and how people want to be in those stocks, therefore driving up those values and not wanting to be in blue chips that actually have intrinsic value. That's fascinating.
I think the answer there is if you want dividends to be part of your retirement income strategy, you're going to have to pick them individually. You can't just buy a basket of goods at this point, a pre-made basket of goods, unless it specifically focuses on dividends, because it's just not there like it used to be. Dividends have kind of lost favor and luster in a lot of corners of the market. So you're going to have to either do it yourself or find somebody that can identify those opportunities for you.
Just makes me think of small town bank stocks,
Sure.
that like trade on the big markets, but they're just like the local farmers, whatever, and then they pay those big dividends. What else in the news?
Time in the market beats timing the market. Maybe someone should have mentioned that little pearl of wisdom to all the young guys who keep yellowing their money into stocks. Betting and investing have never been more intertwined, and it's only going to get worse with the advent of tokenization, 24/7 trading, and leveraged ETFs. It's no wonder that a new study shows that this percent of American men between the ages of 18 and 29 trade stocks daily, while this percent wager on sporting events every day.
This is going to sadden me. And when I drive to Cincinnati with my son this afternoon, I'm just going to read him the riot act over what I'm about to hear. So I'm going to go 45% of people trade stocks daily and 58% sports gamble regularly.
15
Kristen?
and 30, respectively.
25% of American men between the ages of 18 and 29 trade stocks daily, while 23% wager on sporting events. I don't think there's any way that number is right. It's got to be higher on the sporting events, I would guess.
I think it's higher too. And I guess my son and I are going to have nothing to talk about today.
Yeah.
Well, I think we did it. I think this show, we did it. It's about financial distractions I'd put a hat on this show. I was doing distractions as we were teaching about distractions, because that's the sort of level 4D chess we play on this program. Do you want to learn more? Go find the Pete the Planner podcast and listen to us. Send you good vibes, because good vibes are all that's in the budget. I'm Pete the Planner, and this is the Pete the Planner show. Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, what do you look at that? What do you look at that? I lost it on that second. That
was great.
It was so good, though. I was flying.
Yeah, you were like in a flow state, and then it was like, you guys, when you're presenting sometimes, or you're reading something out loud, and in your brain you think, I'm really doing a good job.
Yeah,
and then
that's what
that
happened.
breaks. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. I was like, I can't believe I just said Mutsukushi Seisukosho. Yeah. All right, Yoji Yamamoto. Sayonara. I don't know. I'm sorry. Hey, everyone. Stay getting. Oh, well.